I will never be like my idol Khabib. I am just a Timu version of Khabib. I lose to this soft guy, Sean, who throw jabs all fight. My shitty wrestling finally got exposed. Everybody know I am crotch sniffer. So when I couldn't sniff Sean crotch, I give up, brother. I try to box. But everybody know my boxing is garbage. Oh, I don't really care about this fighting shit, brother. I just want the money. Now I gonna go rock pull my fans on Twitter with another scam crypto coin. Fighting is boring, man. I wanna make easy money on Twitter by creating scam coins, and my low IQ fans will all buy it again. They think I am some good guy. But I still can't believe I lose to this soft guy, Sean, man. I think I need to go Dagestan to 3 years and forget Islam and Khabib. I am begging you guys to please teach me real wrestling, my brothers. I am just street wrestler. I don't know what the hell I'm doing out there.
All fights, I love fighting, but yeah, it was good. It was good. I had a good time. It was fun. I talk a lot of shit, so when you talk a lot of shit and you lose, it hurts way more. So I sell fights. I mean, look at the UFC, how boring it is. Really, the UFC is so boring. I didn't even know half the other than Alex, and Alex doesn't even talk. He's just big and scary. That guy just knocks everybody out. But other than Alex,
this fight card was amazing. But obviously the night belongs to the new champion, Sean Strickland. Goes in there against the unbeatable Khamzat Chimaev, and he gets the job done. Khamzat was a minus 465 favorite going into this fight. And the only reason he was a 5-1 favorite was because of what people had seen him do inside of the octagon, and also what people had seen from Sean Strickland. We had seen Sean struggle at times, which I will get to. I thought Strickland's jab was probably the most effective punch of the entire fight. The way he was able to control the fight with that jab showed you how good Sean Strickland is. The right hand seemed to be available, but he never threw it. Round 3, 4, and 5, Khamzat Chimaev really got on the gas and started backing up Sean Strickland. But if you know scoring, octagon control is no longer a scoring criteria when judging fights.
The long-awaited clash between Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland finally became reality, and the atmosphere inside the arena was absolutely electric. Fans were on their feet before the fight even started, knowing they were about to witness a brutal war between two of the toughest men in the UFC. On one side stood Chimaev, the undefeated monster known for his savage wrestling, overwhelming pressure, and relentless aggression. On the other side was Strickland, the fearless striker famous for his sharp jab, insane cardio, and never-back-down attitude. As both fighters entered the cage, the tension could be felt everywhere. Crowd erupted with loud chants while cameras flashed across the arena. Security stepped out of the cage, the fighters moved toward the center, and for a brief moment they smiled at each other before touching gloves. But everyone knew that respect was about to turn into violence. The second the referee signaled the start, the entire arena exploded with noise as one of the most intense UFC battles officially began. Round 1 started with pure chaos and intensity. Loud USA, USA chants echoed through the crowd as soon as the fight began. But Chimaev wasted absolutely no time. Within seconds, he exploded forward with a lightning-fast takedown attempt and instantly dragged Strickland to the canvas. It was a terrifying reminder of how dangerous Chimaev's wrestling truly is. Strickland tried to stay active from the bottom by landing short punches, but Chimaev looked completely locked in and focused on taking control. He constantly adjusted his position, dragging Strickland across the mat while hunting for the back take. The pressure was relentless, and it felt like Chimaev was suffocating Strickland every second of the round. Chimaev eventually secured Strickland's back and immediately began searching for a choke submission. Strickland defended well and refused to panic, but escaping was nearly impossible. At one point, Strickland even kicked the fence in desperation while trying to create space, but nothing worked. The crowd switched from loud USA chants to Khamzat chants mixed with boos as fans reacted to the domination happening inside the cage. Chimaev stayed glued to Strickland like a backpack, never allowing him room to breathe. Strickland attempted to scramble free several times, but Chimaev maintained complete control. Chimaev even transitioned into mount position before Strickland barely escaped. However, the moment Strickland got back to his feet, Chimaev slammed him down again with authority. The entire round belonged to Chimaev as he controlled the action from start to finish with elite grappling pressure. Between rounds, Strickland refused to sit on his stool, but it was obvious he was breathing heavily after surviving that exhausting first round. As round 2 began, Strickland immediately looked more aggressive on the feet. He landed a sharp 1-2 combination that got a reaction from the crowd. Chimaev answered back with a powerful right hand followed by a jab to the body, but Strickland continued moving confidently and dodging shots. Unlike the first round, Strickland was beginning to find his rhythm. Chimaev still blocked many punches, but Strickland's pressure and movement were clearly giving him problems. Then came one of the biggest surprises of the fight. Chimaev shot for another takedown, but this time Strickland defended perfectly and actually ended up on top position. The crowd exploded with excitement because almost nobody expected Strickland to reverse the wrestling exchanges so early in the fight. Although Strickland didn't land massive damage from the top, the moment itself completely changed the momentum. Chimaev managed to get back to his feet, but when he attempted another takedown, he failed once again. Suddenly, the undefeated wrestling machine looked tired. His explosiveness was slowing down, and Strickland's confidence kept growing. The crowd went absolutely insane as Strickland clearly took control of the second round with his defense, composure, and pressure. Round 3 turned into a striking battle filled with non-stop jabs. Strickland started the round pumping his jab repeatedly into Chimaev's face, slowly taking control of the stand-up exchanges. Chimaev answered back with his own jab, and both fighters spent most of the round trading shots from distance. However, something shocking stood out: Chimaev didn't attempt a single takedown during the entire round. Considering how dominant his wrestling looked in round 1, this completely surprised the audience and commentators alike. As the minutes passed, Strickland's jab continued finding the target over and over again. Chimaev landed some clean shots too, including a stiff jab that caused blood to drip from Strickland's nose, but Strickland's constant pressure and volume seemed to edge the exchanges. Chimaev tried doubling up on his jab and occasionally throwing the right hand, but many of those bigger shots failed to connect cleanly. It was a close and technical round, mostly fought behind jabs and movement, but Strickland's consistency and pace appeared to impress the crowd more. By the end of the round, the momentum had clearly shifted from the early domination of Chimaev to a much more competitive and dangerous fight. Round 4 began with a strange but intense moment as Chimaev smiled at Strickland and told him, "I love you," right before the action resumed. Even in the middle of a brutal fight, the moment showed the bizarre confidence and personality that makes Chimaev such a unique fighter. Once the round started, Chimaev looked more focused on attacking the body with jabs and kicks. He landed a heavy overhand right that finally connected cleanly, while Strickland answered back with sharp counters of his own. The exchanges became more aggressive as both fighters sensed the fight could still swing either way. For most of the round, Chimaev surprisingly continued fighting on the feet instead of relying fully on his wrestling. Backed Strickland against the fence several times and landed solid punches, but he still waited late into the round before finally shooting for another takedown. With about a minute remaining, Chimaev secured the takedown and controlled Strickland against the cage. Even though it wasn't nearly as dominant as the first round, it was enough to steal the momentum back and likely secure the round on the judges' scorecards. The crowd reacted loudly as both fighters walked back to their corners completely exhausted after 4 grueling rounds. As round 5 approached, both corners delivered emotional instructions. Chimaev's team, including Arman Sarukian, urged him to attack the body and return to his wrestling to finish the fight strong. Across the cage, Strickland's coaches pointed out that Chimaev looked exhausted and vulnerable. Both fighters were battered, tired, and running on pure heart at this stage. The entire arena stood on its feet, knowing the final round would decide everything in this unforgettable war between two elite UFC warriors.